Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayiniim Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyai Stavai Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Magaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Narayanah Paro Vyaktat Andam Avyakta Sambhavam Andasyantastvime Lokaha Saptadvipa cha Medini. We are now looking at Antaranga Sadhana after Bahiranga Sadhana. How should one's temperament towards the world and other people be? How should one treat one's own body? And how should one engage in the world? What kind of a disposition one should have? This is all Bahiranga Sadhana, which is the blessing or the prasada of what? Karma Yoga. This is to effectively execute the transition from Arurukshu to Arudha. Yoga Arurukshuhu to Yogam Arudha. This is how to execute. And then now every Bahiranga Sadhana is followed by what? Antaranga Sadhana. And we saw that this verse that we saw yesterday, the 10th verse, marks the transition. Let us chant it together. Yogi Yunjita Satatam Atmanam Rahasi Sthitah Ekaki Yata Chittatma Nirashira Parigraha. This is what we are seeing, and may the yogi engage herself, himself, how? Constantly, satatam engage themselves, how? Yunjita, by uniting oneself with the mind. By uniting oneself means going inward. How to go inward? Find a place where you cannot be found. So, rahasi sthitah, giri guhadau, we saw that, a little hard to reach place. And then after that what? Ekaki. How many people should you go with? Nobody. Yes. There is one commentator called Ramaraya Kavi, and he writes a bhashya for this And he keeps saying, Bharya Varjita. Please don't take the spouse along. Yeah. Bharya becomes Bhara, means heavy. Yeah, heavy, mentally heavy. So here you go by yourself, and 3 times he puts Bharya Varjita, Bharya Rahita, everywhere he will put. So this is not to be taken lightly. By oneself one goes ekaki and yata chittatma. In the first line, what is that? Atmanam rahasi sthitah. Atma there means mind, and then Atmanam yunjita, mind, and then in the next one Atma means what? Body, Karya Karana, Sanghata, the body itself is, because the mind is Chitta here, Yata means Samyata, nicely disciplined, Yam to restrain, to discipline. That's why Lord Yama, he disciplines. He disciplines and restrains. What does he restrain? Our lifespan. So like this, to restrain, Yata, passive participle, and so this is what one has to do. And who is this person who is doing it? Free of desires, we saw. Ashis, 2 meanings are there. That is why I wrote that little addendum yesterday. One meaning is desires, but then afterwards I saw that the same, almost the same verse, yata chittatma nirashi shariram kevalam karma kurvan apnoti nakil bisham. For 21st verse, I think, of the 4th chapter, the word nirashi he comes, and the 30th verse of the 3rd chapter also, the word nirashi he comes. So here ashis means desire. Ashis means asha only, desire. But it also has the one more meaning. What is the meaning of ashi? Ashirvad, blessings. So nirashihi means the one who is without blessing. Oh, very condemned person, no blessings. No blessings because no desires. Since the person has no desires, there is no desire even to get blessings. So that is one meaning. So one meaning is what? No desire to even get the blessings. One meaning, no desire to long for the blessings, because when do you long for blessings? When you have wants and you feel like somebody, some Mahatma or Bhagavan is in the place of saying Tathastu, granting the wants. And so therefore no desire means what? No blessing means what? No desire. So this we have to take it in 2 ways. No desire to seek blessings. And this is the other way Swami Sakshat Ji gave also, the extra derivation. No desire to bless anybody either. Yeah. So the blessing happens because somebody does seva to the Mahatma, the blessing will happen. And how does the blessing happen? Spontaneously through Ishvara. No, the Kartritva Buddhi, I am the blesser, is not there for the such a jnani. So Ashishaha, the blessings, Nirgataha, Yasmat, from whom the Ashishaha, blessings have departed. Ashihi, Ashishau, Ashishaha. So from whom all the blessings have departed, meaning neither the blesser nor the blessed one. So neither the one who is seeking to give blessings nor the one who is seeking to receive blessings. What a lovely thing. Yeah. So then 3rd chapter, 21st verse, 30th verse. Yeah, 330. Yeah. Mai sarvani samyasya adhyatma chetasa, yeah, nirashihi nirbamo bhutva vigatajvaraha. Yeah. So that is nirashihi, meaning again without, there it means without asha. But here the jnani is being discussed, there karma yogi is being discussed, and then 421 is similar here, yata chittatma, something else. What is that one? 421. Please chant. Huh? निराशीयत चित्तात्मा त्यक्त सर्व परिग्रह शारीरम केवलम कर्म कुर्वन् न आपनोति किल्बिषम. There also nirashi he comes. There also it means vitrishnaha. And then shariram kevalam karma. The karma is just being done by the body for the sake of the upkeep of the body. So there is no papa being accrued. Here papa punya doesn't even come into the question. Therefore we have to take this other meaning in addition to the meaning of vitrishna or free of trishna. We have to take one more meaning in the sense that the jnani has no kartritva buddhi, neither the blesser and no desires, therefore is not seeking anybody's blessings. Okay, so then let's see what Adi Shankara says. So then, yata chittatma chittam antahkaranam atma deha cha samyatau yasya saha yata chittatma. So yata chittatma, chittam is what? Antahkaranam, mind, etc. Chittam, and then what is atma? Shariram, deha. So then, chittam cha antahkaranam cha, chittam cha dehascha samyatau yasya saha yata chittatma. The one for whom the body mind sense complex is what? Disciplined, nicely disciplined. Nirashihi vita trishnaha aparigrahascha परिग्रह रहितः संन्यासित्वेपि त्यक्त सर्व परिग्रहः सन् युञ्जीत इत्यर्थः. So here also he says vita trishnaha, and in the third chapter or the third chapter again he says vigataha ashishaha yasmat nirgataha ashishaha yasmat. That is the vyutpatti artha, from whom all desires have gone. We saw this yesterday. Vita trishnaha. And then what else? Aparigraha. Parigraha means na parigraha. Parigraha rahitaha. Doesn't have any desire to grab, desire to hold on to, desire to. Parigraha also means collect. Yes. Collect also, to collect is not there. And Adi Shankara adds, sannyasitve api. One can be a sannyasi, but parigraha creeps in. It creeps in slowly. So, there are so many camps here. Every inauguration of every camp, they call you, please come sit down. Orange shawl number 1, orange shawl number 2, orange shawl number 3. Who to give? Everybody else also has 3 orange shawls. Do you know how hard it is to give orange shawl to somebody else in Rishikesh? Very difficult. But yet, if you keep collecting socks and shawls, then you have to ask for another room, because you have to start sleeping outside of your room. So sannyasitve api, even though the person has sannyasa, sannyasitvam is there, but it should not just be vesha sannyasitvam, it should not be just a ritualistic sannyasa, it should be also what? A mental sannyasa towards all the things. Otherwise we will become like the Dabba sannyasi story of Pujya Swamiji. The person is sleeping where? Outside the kutiya and going like this, very cold. And then no matter how many blankets he is given, he is not warm, because it's very bad winters in those times. And then being asked, how Maharaj, why don't you sleep inside? No, it's full and I'm protecting it from the rain. His own body he is not protecting from the cold. Dabbas are being protected from the rain, and the whole thing is full of dabbas, empty dabbas. He didn't want it himself, he would just give it to people. But he liked the idea of collecting and giving it to people. So, ma bhut iti, so that may this not happen, it says sannyasitve api tyakta sarva parigraha san yunjita ityarthaha. So, even while resorting to sannyasa, all this must be mentally also abandoned. It's not just physical sannyasa. Then, so from the 11th, there is a subsection in the antara. What did we call it? Antaranga sadhana. There is a subsection, and that constitutes 11, 12, and then probably 13 also. So from 11 to 13th, 11 to 13th verse, 14 also you can take. 11th to 15th verse, the process of dhyana / nididhyasana is described in detail. Is described properly in detail, because the yoga rurukshuhu does not even know the meaning of what sadhana to do. How to do meditation, we need a primer. How to do guided meditation, this is the guide to the meditation. Where to sit, how to sit, what to think of, or should I not think of anything at all this needs to be discussed. And that's why this next subsection is begun. Adi Shankara will say, so let us see. Atha idanim yogam yunjatah asana ahara viharadinam yoga sadhanatvena niyamaha vaktavyah प्राप्त योग लक्षणम तत्फलादि च इति अतः आरभ्यते तत्र आसनमेव तावत् प्रथमम् उच्यते. पाठभेदः is there? No. Okay. Yeah. So atha idanim. Atha, thereafter, now, therefore, now, thereafter, now. Now what is going to be done? Yogam yunjataha, for the person taking to this life of yoga, taking to this life of yoga rudhatvam, preparing for yoga rudhatvam. Yogam yunjataha, then certain things people will have a shanka, people will have a doubt. How does the person sit? Where should one sit? I am a yoga rurukshuhu. Where should I sit? What should I eat? How much should I eat? Where should I stay? All these things are not discussed. And so even though what to eat, where to stay, etc. seem like bahiranga sadhana, but they are in the service of what? Antaranga sadhana, in the form of dhyana / nididhyasana. So they all come under antaranga sadhana, because that is what the tatparya of this particular section is. The antaranga sadhana discusses also certain things which appear to be outside, such as what? How to sit, what to do, all these things. They appear to have to do with the external, but whose commitment, the commitment of these disciplines, these sadhanas, is for having a rich inner life. So therefore they are counted where? Yes, part and parcel of antaranga sadhanani. And so he says, atha idanim, now, so yogam, what is that? Yogam yunjataha, the one who is practicing this yoga. So yogam yunjataha, for this person who is practicing the yoga, sadhanatvena, in the form of sadhana, niyamaha vaktavyah, the rules of engagement for this sadhana, in the form of this sadhana, itham bhute tritiya, niyamaha vaktavyah, the rules have to be told, because without rules we won't know how to go inward. And then so the rules have to be told. So the skeletal sentence is what? Yogam yunjataha, niyamaha vaktavyaha. The rules of engagement have to be told for the one resorting to this yoga rurukshatvam or yoga rudhatvam. So the rules of engagement have to be told. How should they be told? Yoga sadhanatvena vaktavyaha. They should be told in the form of a sadhana. So that is why this is antaranga sadhana section. Yoga sadhanatvena vaktavyaha. Kim, what vaktavyaha? Niyamaha vaktavyaha. How vaktavyaha? Yoga sadhanatvena vaktavyaha. To be told in the form of yoga sadhana. In the form of means, sadhana. And what are those sadhanas? Asana, seating. Then what else? Ahara. Ahara means eating. Seating, eating, vihara, living, residing. All this should be told, because how you lead your, see, this is the connection between Bahiranga sadhana and Antaranga sadhana. How you lead your external life has a basis on internal life. You are what you eat, and you keep eating the blood of Rahu. What is blood of Rahu? Garlic, yes. So when Rahu's blood was shed, garlic grew. Yeah, that is the belief. That's why garlic is not at all even touched by people who are wanting to do this kind of sadhana, because otherwise the mind gets very tamasic, or the mind gets angry for no reason. And you can say one day I ate, nothing happened. But if you make that part of the diet, one day nothing may happen, but you make that part of the diet, not only the what is tamas will come, but the body also smells of garlic. Yeah, that is what happens, because the garlic smell is very difficult to get rid of, very almost impossible. So therefore this ahara becomes important, because one is what one eats, and what one eats makes the thoughts also, affects the thoughts. So too much addictive substances, such as, what is that called? Sugar. Eat a lot of sugar. First day you eat sugar, the next day also you look for kheer in the Annakshetra. Then suddenly it happens, there are one day is without bhandara. Then you say, okay, I have been eating too many sweets, it's good only, no bhandara is there, let me recover. Then after a while, then second day also, no bhandara. Little restlessness starts, OMG. Third day also, no bhandara. Guess what? It's in between camps. No campers, no bhandara. And then so, by the third or fourth day, there is a vyakulata. There is all this, the internal, the antahkarana is all tied up in knots. Why? Because there is withdrawal happening. Withdrawal of sugar symptoms are there. So like this, so what to eat? So eat things that don't make you addicted to them, because instead of meditation, what will come? Gulab jamuns will come in the head. That is why ahara. And then asana. Asana also, I don't have to say, the Bhagavan Krishna will tell in detail everything about asana in the very next verse. So we will wait for that. How to sit, where to sit, all that is in asana. How to sit, where to sit, all that is important. And then vihara, how to move around, where to live, where to go. All these things become the sadhana, and in the form of the sadhana, these rules of engagement for the rich and beautiful inner life have to be presented. Vaktavyaha. So then, prapta yoga lakshanam. Prapta yoga lakshanaha. So prapta yoga lakshanam. So for the one who is for the one who has become yoga rudha. So lakshana means characteristics. So the characteristics of the one who has attained yoga rudhatvam, who has become a pro in nididhyasana, who is in fact a jnani, is called prapta yoga lakshanam. So yoga lakshanani praptani yena saha prapta yoga lakshanam. So this prapta yoga lakshanaha, this so for the person who has attained this yoga, and then who is that person who is prapta yoga lakshana, and tat phala, and what is the use of this? So if I become prapta yoga lakshana, eke a what? Yoga rudha, same it is. So this is a pariyaya vachi shabda. This is a synonym of yoga rudha, meaning jnani. So the one who is an adept contemplator, a contemplative person who has atma jnanam is prapta yoga lakshana. So this prapta yoga lakshana, also known as what? Yoga rudha. What are the characteristics? How do they live? In other words, Jnani Lakshana must be talked of. In every chapter there is Jnani Lakshana, if we look carefully. Because the Gita doesn't want us to ever forget that this is our destiny. And then not only Prapta Yoga Lakshana, these Lakshanas, Lakshana of what is that? Arudha Lakshana, but also why should I become that? Why should I be a jnani with a composed hands, legs, composed thoughts, composed mind? Why should I do that? Tat phalam. What is the use of that? What do I get out of that? Because our minds are very pragmatic. So, prayojanam anuddishya mandopi karmani na pravartate. In the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan will say. So, Bhagavan has said, meaning, without knowing the use of the karma, without knowing the karma phala, karma will not be done. Even somebody slightly developmentally challenged, you tell them, go fill a bucket of water from one side of the Ganga and then pour it on this side. They will ask, why? Isme mujhe kya milega? What will I get? Because everybody wants to get karma phala. Everybody is a karma phala hog. What will I get if I don't know? Then I will not take to this lifestyle. And this lifestyle may be lauded by the Bhagavad Gita, lauded by the Upanishads. Lot of stuti is done, but still I will not be attracted unless and until I know in practical ways what am I going to get out of this, how is my life going to change. So therefore, tat phaladi, phala etc. phala, and what will happen because of this phala, is it drishta phala, is it adrishta phala, all this has to be discovered. And then cha iti ataha, iti means in this manner all these unanswered questions are there. Ataha, therefore, arabhyate. Therefore this section, this subsection is begun. This is now begun. This means this subsection. Ataha arabhyate. Tatra, in this context, what? Asanam eva tavat. Firstly, prathamam uchyate. Firstly, what is tackled, taken up, is the question of seating. What should be the seating arrangement for antaranga sadhana? Very beautifully put. The next 2 verses, next verse, yeah. So next verse is going to talk about seating arrangements. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्. Find a clean place. Clean? It's not clean. Here is a rubble of stones. As soon as we get down, there is a whole lot of what is that? Cement and stone. It's not clean. Adi Shankara says, make it clean. Clean it. So, nice excuse for not meditating. So, you take your asana, roll it under your armpit, and go around and say, not clean, not clean, not clean. Too bad. Can't meditate. No. So, it should be clean in the sense of swabhavataha Shuchi Pradeshe. Swabhavataha means by itself, naturally it is clean. Like maybe one of the rocks on the river, it is clean. Nobody goes there. Nobody is putting bottles and plastic and paper in that group of rocks. So it is that it is clean. So that is naturally clean, or you clean it yourself. DIY clean. Samskaritam. So either it is naturally clean, or you make it clean, or you pay somebody to clean it. Doesn't matter. So it is artificially cleaned, or it is a naturally clean place. But clean place you have to find. Shuchau deshe, in a clean place. What happens? Pratisthapya, setting down what? Asanam, seat. Whose? Atmanaha. Atmanaha asanam shuchau deshe pratisthapya. Pratisthapya, placing atmanaha asanam, one's own seat, in a clean place. And the clean place should also be what? Sthiram. Sometimes the river rocks are moving this way, that way. And then you put your asana on that and you sit to meditate. What will happen? Yeah, you will have a rocking lesson instead of a meditating experience. And so, therefore, sukham sthiram asanam. The asana has to be firm. Don't sit on a swing and meditate. Yeah, like rocking. No, that's not good. And some of the chairs, they office chairs, they go round and round. Yeah, and they go back and forth also. No, don't meditate. You can meditate in the office, but don't meditate in the office chair. Not good. Because when you go deep, what will happen? Suddenly it will move. And because of your weight, you may go this side or that side. And then when it moves, you will have a terrible coming back. You will not have a soft, nice landing. You will have a difficult coming back. It will be like a shock. Or the fear that it will move, the concern that it will move, will prevent you from going deep. Therefore what? Sthiram. Sthiram asanam atmanaha pratisthapya. Having placed. Why having placed? Having placed what? Having placed, what comes after having placed will come in the next verse. So therefore these two verses go together. Even though we have not chanted the next verse, the two of them go together. So Shuchau deshe pratisthapya, having placed in a clean place one's own asanam, in a firm place. Shuchau also means free of movement. Achala desha. And then what else? Then it also, then few other things are given. Na ati uchritam. So you don't go climb on a hillock and then on the hillock is one rock balancing and you go sit down there, I am going to meditate. What will happen? Fear of falling will come, not meditation will come, mantra won't come, nididhyasana won't come, fear of falling will come. Especially if one is afraid of heights. No, I'll have my eyes closed, but then you will take a peek. One eye you will open, look, and then frighten yourself. Only fright will come, meditation won't come. And then what else? Na ati neecham. Don't go in a pit and sit. Do not sit in a pit. Why? What is pit full of? Creepy crawlies. Yeah, things that creep, things that crawl. Their home, they have made their home underneath. And so some tantric meditation, they dig a little hole somewhere and they sub underneath they go and sit. Not advisable, because that place is already taken by all the jantus. And if you sit in their home, they will first look, what is this, who is this? And then they will say, evict this person. So they give eviction notice. How do they give eviction notice? By biting. Yes. So by biting, they will give eviction notice. And you are ejected from the asanam. So that's why you don't want to be surrounded by biting things which may not be there when you sit, but after all it's their home. They have gone to office, they are coming back. Yeah, as soon as you sit, they come back. They have gone shopping, they come back. And then what will you do? You have to move. So therefore, and also not advised to go underground and sit, because you see, this is like, as we said, arudha. This is like a kind of we are already sort of heavy and downward sinking feeling is there. And so uddharet, this uddharanam must take place. And so sitting in a pit is not going to help feeling high, because already I am down in the dumps, and if I sit in the dumps, then I will be further down in the dumps. So therefore, a flat place, neither high nor low, a non-moving place and a clean place is advertised as the best thing for the meditation. And then, na ati uchritam, not very high, na ati neecham, not very low. And then you make your asanam chailajina kushottaram. So the asanam consists of three things. One is what? Chaila. Chaila means cloth. Chaila is a piece of cloth, maybe even an old sari, something soft, old dhoti, soft, old sari, chaila. And then ajina. Ajina means fur. You know what is that called? Deer fur. Yeah, skin, whatever. So, deer skin. Deer skin means don't go after the deer. Hunting. Naturally dyed deer. So that is what is then skinned. After it has lived its full life, died a natural death, then that skin is used. Why is deer skin used? Deer is very harmless, and deer is very innocent, doesn't have guile, and doesn't have bile either. No bile, no gallbladder. Deer does not have gallbladder. And this, in Ayurvedic medicine and ancient Chinese medicine, gallbladder is the seat of anger. And this prakshobhanam inside, there is a kind of a disturbance and all, the seat of that is gallbladder. This has no gallbladder. That means what? No anger. No anger issues. Shanta. How do I want to be as I meditate and grow? I also want to not have anger issues. I also want to be Shanta. So I take the deer as a teacher. By taking the skin, sitting on its fur, what do I say? Let me also be like you. Let some of it rub off to me. Let some of your tranquility and your freedom from anger, let it also rub off for me. That is the prayer. And even in the Munji, when the child is taken to the Veda, the thread ceremony, a little piece of deer skin is wrapped on the Upavita, on the Yajna Upavita. Little piece of deer skin, deer fur is tied in a little cloth and put there to remind the young child that this is the destiny. I have to grow to be like this harmless and tranquil and quiet deer. So the deer skin, it is believed, because of these reasons, helps one to become contemplative and Shanta in the meditation. So Chaila, Ajina and Kusha grass. Kusha is again what kind of a grass? A sacred grass. Kusha is a sacred grass. It is used also for sacred purposes. The Kushasana is offered to the deities when invoking them. So I also sit on the Kushasana. So what is mentioned first? Chaila, then Ajina, and then Kusha. Uttaram means in one after the other. But actually, if you sit on Kusha grass, what will happen? Free acupuncture treatment will be given on the backside. Why? Because it will be prickly grass. So Adi Shankara says, please reverse the order. What comes first? Kusha, grass. Over that what comes? Ajina, deer fur. And over that a piece of cloth. Reverse that, he says, because this is given in this way, but so viparitam you do, reverse it, he says. So let us see. Shuchau shuddhe vivikte स्वभावतः संस्कारतो वा देशे स्थाने. Yeah, so this we have seen. Shuchau means shuddhe, and shuddhe Adi Shankara has to add vivikte. Vivikte means vijana pradeshe, where the people are not roaming around. Don't go and say, here is a weekly market happening. All the people are coming, and right in the center I am going to put first kusha grass and then deer fur, and on top of that what? Yeah, cloth, and I am going to sit down. No. So, Shuchau Deshe, Shuchau how? Not just clean, but cleaned off people also. Very difficult in a place like India. They will show up everywhere and anywhere. That's why places like Haridwar, Rishikesh are there. That until this river rafting happened, nobody even had heard of Rishikesh. Nobody would come. Rishikesh, what is that? Where is that? Nobody would come, because most of the people's activities is not here. That is why certain areas need to be preserved. Uttara Kashi, who will go? For what will they go? Other than meditation and other than sadhana, other than Shravanam, no other purpose to go to such places. And so therefore this Vivikta Deshe, in a lonely place devoid of Vijana Pradeshe, place devoid of people. And then what happens? What do you do there? So Shuddhe Vivikte. So it is a solitary place, either Swabhavatah, by its own nature, naturally, or Samskaratova, or made to be clean. Made to be clean and made to be, what should I say, Vijana Pradesha. How do you make something to be Vijana Pradesha? Because if you go sit and meditate somewhere, nobody feel like coming, because everybody will be headed to Pani Puri. They are not interested in coming for meditation like that. So then Pratisthapya he doesn't explain. So Prati plus Tha plus Lyap. So Pratisthapya, having established what? Achalam sthiram atmanaha asanam. Having established or put forth one seat which is firm and which is na ati uchritam, na ati uchritam, na ativa uchhitam, napi ati nicham tat. Yeah. So it should be neither too high for the reasons we have mentioned, nor sit in a pit. Do not sit in a pit, do not sit on a precipice somewhere, because it is kind of like, see, there is a, like over here if you look, there is a compound wall. So if you sit on the up compound wall on that little square piece and meditate, what will happen? The fear of falling off will be there. Why fear? You may even fall off. So please don't do that. So then, tacha chailajina kushottaram chailam ajinam kushaha cha uttare yasmin asane tadasanam chailajina kushottaram. Yeah. So, what is Chailajina Kushottaram? Yasmin asane, in which asana the cloth, the fur and the grass are coming one by one. That is called Chailajina Kushottaram. And then he explains, Pathakramat Viparitaha Atra Gramaha Chailadhinam. Yeah. So Pathakramat Viparitah. Or Pathakrama means the order in which the reading has come. The reading where? In the Moolam. How does it say in the Moolam? Chailajina Kushottaram. So Pathakrama, what comes first? Chaila, then Ajina, and then Kusha. And then Adi Shankara says, make them do Shirashasana, make them do a headstand. Pathakramat, from the Pathakrama, from the Krama means order. From the order that is given there, opposite, Viparita. Only one thing doesn't change. The deer fur remains in the middle. Whether you take it this way or that way, that doesn't change. And then what else? So, atra chailadhinam pathakramaad viparitaha kramaha. So, the order is different. From this, what do you understand? Adi Shankara has meditated. That's what we understand. That's how he knows what is to be done. Yeah. Then the natural question is asked. Pratisthapya kim? Okay, pratisthapya, you left us hanging. That pratisthapya means what? Having established, then what? What do I do then? Tatraikagram manah kritva yata chittendriya kriyah upavishyasane yunjyat yogamatma vishuddhaye. Yeah. So now, having established the seat, what to do? Leave it there and go back. Maybe somebody, I'm doing seva, somebody else can come and sit and meditate. No, this is what? Atmanaha asanam. You have placed the seat. Having placed the seat, please continue to what? Occupy this seat. That is the idea. Tatra means tasmin asane. In that asana, on that seat, what should you do? Ekagram manaha kritva. Making the mind having a single pointedness, developing the single pointedness of the mind. Having made the mind single pointed, so then what? So yata chittendriya kriyaha. So the yata chittendriya kriyaha means the person for whom the chitta and the indriyas have been subdued. Through antaranga sadhana, through shravanam, etc. And that is the that is the person whose indriyani, then the chittam, indriyani, etc. What is that? Their activities, the activities of the mind, the activities of the buddhi, the activities of the indriyas are all disciplined. Activity means kriyaha. So the yata chittendriya kriyaha. The kriya is not belonging to the person. The kriya is belonging to whom? The mind and the buddhi and the chittam. So the activities of the mind is going all over the place. That kriya, that's a natural kriya of the mind. The natural kriya of the mind is going from thought number 1 to 2 to 3. Sometimes we can't even trace. Thought number 1 and 55. Suddenly jump. Leapfrogging it is called. Not that 54 thoughts, 53 thoughts from 1 to 55, were they not there? They were there. But I was gone. I was not having ekagrata. I did not follow those thoughts. And so, yata chittendriya kriyaha means the mind leapfrogs all over the place. The indriyas also, let's say the eyes are closed, but then unfortunately I set up the asana too close to the dining hall. And the smell of food being cooked came, eyes are closed, but they came to the nose. Already what? Distraction has taken place. So like this, when the senses are distracted, what else is distracted? The mind is distracted. Ooh, let's see if I am very good at smelling what is frying. Is it gulab jamun? Is it balu shahi? Let us see what is it. So I want to then check up. Who wants to check up? Manaha checks up. And Buddhi says, you have meditated enough. Get up, go. And make sure that you stand in line properly so that you get it. Last time you just waddled in late. You did not get the sweet. Get up, go, stand in line quickly. Buddhi says, you have done enough meditation. And so there is the whole meditation gone. So therefore here, while before meditating the sankalpa is important, but sitting down to meditate also this sankalpa must be kept, and the mind must be kept free of distractions. Two kinds of distractions are going to be later taken up. What are two kinds of, what is that? Badha, pratibandhas. Pratibandhas means what? Obstacles, obstructions. Two kinds of obstructions are going to be taken up, two pratibandhas, and one is called vikshepa. The example of the smell of something delicious being cooked is what? Vikshepa. Vikshepa meaning distraction. And the other problem in meditation we all know very well. What is that? Sleep. AKA laya. Laya and vikshepa, these are the two problems in any kind of dhyana yoga. Whether it is nididhyasana or Vedantic meditation, mantra japa, also these two things come. In Pujya Swamiji's time, when we were meditating, one person used to come for a few days each time. And then 7 o'clock meditation starts, 7:01. Loud snoring. And of course, everybody went and complained. The whole class went and complained, how are we going to meditate? Pujya Swamiji did not say anything to that person, nothing. So what did Pujya Swamiji tell? He told all the meditators, focus on that only, make that your mantra and meditate. It really worked, yeah. You are almost waiting for him to chant so that you don't have to chant. It would come. I can't even imitate it. It was just so characteristic, so classic. And then it would immediately stop at 7:29. And so he would say, such a seva he is doing. He is telling you when the meditation is beginning. He is telling you when the meditation is ending. You don't have to do anything. You just focus on that only as your mantra. It really worked. Wonderful. So this is laya, that for that poor person suffering from laya. Laya comes in Vedanta class also, because Vedanta class is also like a meditation, because one is relaxed. Relaxed doesn't mean you should sleep, correct? There is a difference, isn't it, between relaxation and sleep? But why are they mixed up? Because Ayurveda will tell us and Yoga Sutras will tell us we do not know how to relax without going to sleep. We have to learn how to go into a deep state of relaxation without going to sleep. And now in the spiritual parlance, theta waves. Yeah, first it was delta waves, now it is theta waves. All the Greek, you just put Greek and then you make it mystified. Yeah, some Greek alphabet you put, and then everybody will say, oh, I have to get this. All this was talked about in even pre-Adi Shankara. Gaudapadacharya talks about all this. Laye sambodhayet chittam. When sleep comes, sambodhayet. Sambodhanam means what? Call back. Ahvayet, call back. Call who back? Yourself. But I am asleep, one part of you is falling asleep. You know when you are falling asleep. Call yourself back. Keep some water, not to drink, just to go like this, like this. Put it right inside the eye. That will keep one awake. Vikshiptam. So if laya comes, what to do? Wake yourself up. Vikshiptam cha shamayet punaha. So when the mind is distracted, how did they do this to me? How could they do that to me? Some grudge from 7 years ago. Okay, not even happened. Not even happened recently. Some grudge come, bubbles come up. The bubbles of pain and sorrow first have to be cleared before one can enjoy the glory of oneself. The inglorious parts have to be dealt with. You have to go through that. Buddha, while meditating, also came across all these pratibandhas, and he called them Mara. Mara means some kind of a demon. So this demon called Mara is coming. Mara means these painful thoughts. Why did somebody do this to me? Why did they do this to my grandparents? Look at that, All this may come. So vikshiptam, as soon as it distracted, you leave that right there. Put a full stop, put a suspension, and then bring it. Shamayet punaha, make the mind calm again. Let the bubbles, observe the bubbles without participating in the bubbles. And then know that these painful things come because the mind is along with the unconscious. The unconscious mind has no time to come during the day. It will always come in the meditative, alone places. When you are in solitary times and in times of solitude, unpleasant memories will come. Sakashayam vijaniyat. Shamapraptva na vichalayet. This is not the time to do psychoanalysis on yourself. Because what is the commitment here? I am going to meditate. It's not like I am going to psychoanalyze myself. There is time for that. There is time for writing in the journal. There is time to go to a therapist. There is time for analyzing yourself. Why I am feeling like this? Why do I have these issues? This is not that time. Right now, ekagra manaha bhava. Be the one for whom the mind is single pointed in nature, either focused on the Atma Swarupa, or if one is a yoga rudha, or focused on mantra if one is a dhyana yogi. So then, shamapraptva na vichalayet. Gaudapadacharya also understood that one more kind of a distraction is pleasant distraction in the form of either daydreaming during meditation. Oh, tomorrow is Wednesday. Let me see which shrine I am going to visit. Where will I go? How nice it will be. Who shall I invite? Oh, these people are such wonderful people in this batch. You see where all the mind has gone? Completely towards the pleasant. What's wrong in thinking of the pleasant? I am not in the doldrums. If I am thinking of the pleasant, it should be okay, right? Wrong. Why? Because that also is a vikshepa. That is also a distraction. And then besides, pleasant thoughts foment desires. Pleasant thoughts are the precursors of desires. Oh, what a nice thought. What a harmless thought. I'll go with a group of people to this particular temple. Very nice thought, harmless. But more you dwell on it, dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaha teshu upajayate sangat sanjayate what? Kamaha. So this manorajya, a term given by Panchadashikara, Swami Vidyaranya calls daydreaming manorajya, the kingdom of the mind. So this manorajya seems harmless, but it is the precursor of very difficult to get rid of kamas. So therefore, this Gaudapadacharya says, Naswadayet rasam tatra. Do not go into pleasant musings and partake of that pleasantness. Nissango prajnaya bhavet. Even though you have pleasant experiences in meditation, those pleasant experiences are nothing, a drop in the bucket. You have, if you are able to resist those pleasant experiences like you resisted the unpleasant, then there is a higher vantage point of a deeper immersion into yourself that is accessible. In order to access that, you have to give sannyasa to these pleasant and the unpleasant. In order to remain present, you let go of the pleasant, you let go of the unpleasant. So then you make the seat, and therefore what do? You sit on that seat and then tatra, seated on that seat, ekagram manah kritva. Who is this person? The person that has been able to do what we just discussed. So the one who has been able to yata means subdued, the one for whom chittam and the kriya of the chittam and the indriyani have been nicely subdued, disciplined. That is the person. So such a yogi, so what should the person do? Upavishya, having sat down, where? Asane, on that aforementioned asan in the 11th verse. Yunjyat, may one unite the mind with the mantra or with the truth of the self as it is told in the Mahavakya or the Atma Swarupa, depending on whether one is Arurukshu or Arudha. May one unite the mind, yunjyat, yogam yunjyat, may one unite the mind with the mantra. May one get into this place of oneness between oneself and the object of the meditation, which is not mentioned here, but we have to supply the object of the meditation, which is Atma Swarupa, or which is some mantra or the other. Sajatiya vritti pravaha. From Vijatiya vritti pravaha, we get into Sajatiya vritti pravaha. Vijatiya vritti pravaha means disconnected, random, mechanical thoughts that keep coming to the mind. Different topics. First I think of computer, then I think of river, after that I think of tree, then I think of my food, then after food I think of sleep. At least there is a connection. But in this way, disconnected thoughts, different kinds of thoughts keep coming. This is Vijatiya vritti pravaha, and the discipline in the meditation, the yunjyat means unite the mind. How? By bringing it into the same kind of thoughts or the same thought. What is the first thought? Om Namah Shivaya. Second thought? Om Namah Shivaya. Third thought? Fourth thought? Fifth thought? Sixth thought? No, sixth thought, is anything happening? Sixth thought. Who went there? What is the noise? I don't know why people come late to meditation. That is the sixth thought. So, then where has the thought gone? From Om Namah Shivaya to something else. That is the sixth thought. What is the seventh thought? You bring it back now. Yeah, repeatedly you bring it back. Repeatedly yunjyat, yogam yunjyat. You resort to this practice. Yoga here is this dhyana yoga. To this meditation, you resort to, what is the seventh thought? Om Namah Shivaya. Eighth thought? Om Namah Shivaya. Ninth thought? Something else. Oh, it's already hot. And then 10th thought, Om Namah Shivaya. You keep bringing back to Sajatiya vritti pravaha because you need to discipline the mind. You have a say over the ways of the mind. Don't tell the mind, I'm going to control you, because it will never listen. You say, I need to have a say over the ways of the mind. So gently you trick the mind into saying Om Namah Shivaya. There is this tick-tock. What is this tick-tock? What is this tick-tock? A huge waste of time. Okay, yeah. But however, this tick-tock is famous because they give some useless challenges. How to jump off a building. This is a challenge? Yes, it's a challenge. How to do this? How to drink some detergent with water. All these things. This was really a thing. And then blow bubbles literally from all these rubbish things. So this can become a tick-tock challenge. How to have Sajatiya vritti pravaha. How to basically have a say over the ways of the mind. So if you meditate for 40 minutes and then have Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha. The idea is in the non-meditative state also you can enjoy a focused, available and tranquil mind. So why should I do this? Atma Vishuddhaye. Atma Vishuddhi means Chitta Shuddhaye. Chitta Shuddhi means Antahkarana Shuddhaye. So the Antahkara, for freedom from Ragadveshas. Ragadveshas we practice for freedom from Ragadveshas where? In the meditative state? No. In the non-meditative state, I enjoy freedom from Ragadveshas the more I meditate in this particular manner. Very beautiful. So, Atma Vishuddhaye. Technically, we make a distinction. We say Karma Yoga is for Atma or Chitta Shuddhi and Dhyana Yoga is for what? Chitta Naischalyam Achalata. So Ekagrata, like here it says. So Chitta Ekagrata. So for this Ekagrata, so Chitta Ekagratayaha sadhanam, what is that? Dhyana Yoga. And then Chitta Shuddhi sadhanam Karma Yoga. We make this distinction. But here he says this meditation is also for what? Atma Shuddhi. So therefore it is not really Nididhyasana here. It is for who? Karma Yogis who are in meditation. Atma Vishuddhaye. So that the Ragadveshas, so that one can enjoy a focused mind free of Ragadveshas when? In the non-meditative state also. That is the crux of this. Tatra tasmin asane upavishya yogam yunjyat. So he takes the skeletal sentence first. Tatra means tatra, so ekagram manaha kritva, all this forget. Tatra yogam yunjyat. Tatra upavishya asane, asane upavishya yogam yunjyat. So yogam yunjyat, may one practice meditation, dhyana yogam yunjyat. May one resort to the practice of meditation. Tatra means what? Tasmin asane, seventh case. In that asana that was spread out in verse number 11, may one sit and practice yoga. Katham sarva vishayebhyah upasamhritya ekagram manah kritva. Yeah. How to practice this? After with upasamhritya, withdrawing. Hru to take away, then upa and some are added. So to take away from a proximity. So remaining close, you take away. The mind is very close to the objects, but you are disregarding the objects completely. So upasamhritya yada samharate cha ayam, same root verb, kurmongani va sarvashaha. Jnani Lakshana was pointed out in the second chapter, like even the tortoise withdraws its limb, then the same way the indriyas are withdrawn by the jnani from indriyarthas, from the objects of the senses. The senses are withdrawn. So similarly the mind is withdrawn. Manaha, so manaha upasamhritya ekagram kritva. And then yata chittendriya kriyaha chittam cha indriyani cha chittendriyani tesham kriyaha samyataha yasya saha yata chittendriya kriyaha. Some very beautiful compounds. So who is yata chittendriya kriyaha? So chittam cha indriyani cha. So the one whose chitta and indriyani have been subdued, trained, is called yata chittendriya kriya. So the chitta and indriyas have their own sphere of actions. So chitta is trained, indriyani is trained means what? Their spheres of action have been trained. Where to think, what to not think, when to shut up, when to keep quiet, all that has been accomplished for whom? That is yata chittendriya kriya. Sakimartham yogam yunjyat iti aha atma vishuddhaye antahkaranasya vishuddhyartham iti etat. Yeah. So, why should the person practice meditation? For clearing out the antahkarana. For clearing out the antahkarana of what? Raga dvesha. You see the external shuchi, shuchau deshe, the pratisthapya we saw in the last one. So the external shuchi leads to internal shaucham. It's all as outside, so within there is a connection. So outside it's a clean, well aerated place, neither too high nor too low. Here also it invites us to quieten the mind. It invites the mind to disengage from the objects of desire and from the closely held chronic ragadveshas. The chronic ragadveshas loosen the hold. Elsewhere, the same thing is said in the 5th chapter. Yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva what? Atma shuddhaye. Same thing. So the karma also is turned into yoga. Here dhyana is also turned into yoga, a committed lifestyle for preparation for gaining the knowledge that gives moksha. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari